is Bob Giordano. I direct Missoula Institute for Sustainable Transportation, Missoula, Montana. We'll take a short ride here on the cycle tracks in downtown Missoula on Higgins Avenue, installed just over a year ago. Cycle track is defined as a bikeway with a physical barrier separating the bikeway from the road. Often it's a row of parking. Unlike a bike lane, which is almost always between the parking and the shared travel lane. Only a couple cities in the United States have cycle tracks. New York City and Portland have put in the last 2-3 years, and Missoula joins that short list. At MIST, over 10 years ago, we did some research extensively on cycle tracks and thought that they may be an excellent biking infrastructure solution for the United States. Having taken several trips to Northern Europe where cycle tracks are used quite often, and those cities have high cycling mode shares. Now we're transitioning off the cycle tracks back to a more typical bike lane. Not as pleasant, perhaps, and the key is safety. That's one big thing. And bike lanes are typically safer than cycle tracks because of these intersection movements. Almost all bike crashes, cyclists hit by drivers, occur at intersections of some kind, whether it's an alley, a driveway, a side street. So a cycle track, and some have even called them protected bike lanes, gives protection, so to speak, on the sections, yet that's not where crashes are occurring. It leaves intersections of all sorts. It leaves the cyclist very unprotected, so to speak, in that case, and in a strong way, more vulnerable because of visibility issues. Cyclists between parked cars and the sidewalk can often be much less visible when they come into an intersection, much less visible to drivers. This bike lane here is continuing across the Higgins Bridge, heading south. Better maintenance year-round would enhance this facility. And that is one thing at MIST that we really like about the cycle track, is grit, dirt, grime from motor vehicle traffic is not on the cycle track because it's separated and raised, unlike this bike lane, which has a bunch of gunk, grit, grime, even worse, oil, antifreeze, gasoline, and carcinogenic material, heavy metals, benzene, carbon monoxide would not be in the gunk, so to speak, but the particulate matter and the solids would be. To summarize, bike facilities are important for a town, and we're not saying don't do cycle tracks or don't do bike lanes or must do this. We are saying we think dialogue is important, research is important, open communication, looking at all the issues and figuring out what can work best for all people, all modes. And in this section, there's sharrows. We foresee in the next couple years that this section of Higgins will get some more defined bikeway.